Hey Yuki Bandit, so here we are. England are in the final of the Euro 2020. Very exciting. It's been a fantastic achievement so far. First time in my lifetime I've seen them get to a major tournament final. So very excited, and this song has been played an awful lot so far, and it's being sung in the stadium when they're playing, during, after, before and after. It's, in my opinion, the best football anthem that's been written, and it's also it was written originally in Euro 96 when we came so close in the semi-final. So obviously we got these chords to learn, and what I've done is I've taken the best version I could find and adapted it so it's exactly right to the record. There are a few chord changes that are a little bit tricky, but there's ways around it, so I'm going to give you a few tips and tricks on how to play it, like simplify it, and how you should play it if you really want to get it to sound really cool as well. So let's start off. We've got the chords. We've got G, which is a pretty standard G shape, just that triangle shape. You can see the numbers also on the chord chart here, which 1, 3, 2. It gives you the finger in the first, then the second, then the third. That gives you the where you're placing these fingers on the bottom of the chord. I'm just put my cursor over it here. You can see we're waggling it over. So of course on the next one, B minor, 1, 1, 1 and 3 is barred. 1, 1, 1, and then you put the third finger up here on the 4th fret on the G string and play that all the way across, and that is a B minor. So you got your G, bar it across, finger at the top, B minor. Now you can see that I'm arching that third finger, so if I take that bar away, you can see I'm arching, so I can hear all those notes underneath. If you've got it too flat, you'll get muted notes, so you've got to be careful with that. But what you can do is you could just do the bar and just play those notes, or you could bar all the way across. It's absolutely fine. And that's basically a D. It's a substitute. You can use that instead of a B minor. What you don't want to really hear is it's actually a G major 7 if we play all the notes, which is quite a nice chord if you want it, but it clashes a little bit for this song. So if you're playing that chord, you've got to be careful not to hit that open string, so you either miss it, or you can just touch it ever so slightly with the first finger. So there you go. So I'm muting it, and that allows me to strum the song. So when you bar it, you just have your first finger ever so slightly touching it. It can be a little bit tricky. You just practice playing between the G, there's a D, or even better, if you get the B minor in, it works a bit better. So G and B minor, that's what I've gone with for the moment. It's a good chord to learn anyway. And then the E minor, which is your diagonal 1, 2 and 3. You can see that there, 1, 2, 3. And then you've got your A chord, which is your first finger on the C string, second finger up here on the G string. There's your shape. So learn these shapes, take your time with them. You've got your G, bar it, B minor, or like a version of D, and then E minor, 1, 2 and 3, and then you got your A, put your 2 fingers in, play it all the way across, and then we're going to a D chord. So this, yet again, it depends what size your fingers are and what size ukulele you're playing on, and how you might feel like doing this shape. So I like using the bar. I'm on a bigger ukulele, but at the same time I can arch my finger. You can see me arching, so I get that first look at my chord cam in the bottom left. So you've got you bar it across, and I'm hearing that. You might find that you'll get that effect, that mute effect, if you don't bar it and get that lifted. That's absolutely fine if you do it like that. Not a big deal. You get an extra note if you arch it, and it's not actually a big deal when you. So that's me lifting it. You can hear I'm just not hearing that string, so it's not a big deal. Or if you can get all 3 fingers in, that's a little bit more accurate sounding. And I'll be honest with you, I'd go with that one if you can. I will probably, as I'm playing this, switch between them, because I'm used to teaching people that do it different ways in the group. I'm used to doing different variations so they can see me playing those chord shapes. But there's a G, there's a D. So you can see that's going to be in the intro, those 2 chords. That's going to be the chord progression we want to start off with anyway. And then if we go from D to the F sharp minor, there's our D shape. The first finger goes behind it's on the C string on the 1st fret, second at the top on the 4th string on the G, and then the 3rd finger at the bottom there. Now when you're playing a D with a bar, you've got to move literally all your fingers in, but when you're doing the D shape with the normal, you can see that 3rd finger stays there, and it's just the 1st finger comes in behind on on the C string, and then that second finger comes on the top of the second fret on the G. So it's a little bit easier, I think, if you've got that shape down. So practice between the D, the way it's been written basically, 1, 2, 3, and then 2, 1, 3. That's the fingering that I'm doing. That's the best way of doing it, I would have said. So D, there's the F sharp minor. Now there is another chord in there for the verses. This is not in the chorus, this is in the verses. I've seen it get mixed up on a few sheets. So if you see it in the chorus, it shouldn't be there in the chorus, it should be there in the verses. You bar a B, which is a bit of a bone contention with the group because they get funny when there's a B flat in a song. It's actually a B flat moved up one. But I'm going to show you easy ways of doing it and try and make your life a bit easier if you struggle. So first finger across the first and second string on the second fret. Second finger on the third string on that third fret, which is your C string, then the third finger up on the G string. And that's how you do a B chord. 1, 1, 2 and 3. And you can see it here on the diagram. Let me just highlight it here. So it's this one here. Yeah, just this one where it's going across the B here. That's the B. So that's the shape that you want to work on. Probably the most, I would have said, because it's a little bit trickier. The most, it's effectively, it's like doing an A chord, and then it's moved up, and then a bar. So to that point, you could just hit 2 notes. You could just hit the bar, so you can hit either the top or the bottom of the chord. So yes, you are going to lose a little bit of sound and definition if you're playing. You probably want to angle your fingers so you get the mute. I would say it's only effective in a group, that scenario, but if you want to get a bit more of the chord, then just C minor. If you move those 3 up, that works really effectively, I think. So like I said, you can, if you're playing in a group, then you can afford just to practice hitting a portion of the chord. So hitting that portion or hitting that portion will be absolutely fine. So hitting the top of the B chord or bottom of the B chord to start with when you're playing in the group, to get your fingers used to playing a bit of it, because trying to get all your fingers in there while obviously it's going through at speed will be tricky at first. But if you're good at an E minor moved up, that's a B, even better. So we're getting 3 of the notes and we get more of an effective sound that you can strum with. And then take it that step further, you just flatten that first finger and you'll get a B. So if you're finding B chord tricky, work on it, like work on the E minor. If you're good at E minor, move it up a fret, strings even, so you're just moving it all up a string, and then get that second finger flattened when you're there. That's a good way of practicing it, and there are a few songs that do have a combination of E minor and B in, so that's quite a good change to be familiar to anyway. Okay, so that's all the chords. We've got G, B minor, E minor, A, the D, the F sharp minor, and then the B chord. Okay, so I'm obviously just strumming through with the thumb lightly at the moment. We're going to talk about the strumming in a minute when we look at the chord chart, but I would practice getting used to those shapes and getting used to the changing. Get used to those to start with, and that'd be a great way to play. Okay, so here we are with the chord chart for Three Lions. It's coming home, and what we have here is the intro, which is 2 bars of G, 2 bars of D, and then that's repeated, so another 2 bars of G, another 2 bars of D. So a bar is 4 beats, and what you hear at the beginning, which is quite effective, is this like dampened sound. So you hear the G being played more like this. Now what you can see is my fingers, when I play, this is called staccato. If I play the chord and then I rest on the chord, then it just sharpens the sound up, so I only get this pulsating chord on the beat, rather than this constant ringing. And where that's effective is it's quite muted at the beginning, and then it opens and releases and becomes dynamically a little bit louder and bigger as the song progresses. So if you can start with that, that'd be a really good way of doing it. You just literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I am pulsating. If I was to do the whole chord and I get this open string here, you notice I can't do that with that string, so you get this constant ringing note. So another way of doing it, I showed this in another technique, is where you strum and then you bring down the palm. And that's more effective because you can play the whole chord. And it's literally 4 beats, 4 beats, count 4 on G, 4 on G, 4 on D, 4 on D. Keep to counting 4, not 8, and try and keep to the bars. And yeah, you're just literally playing that sequence through again when it comes into the singing. It's coming home, it's coming home, it's coming, football's coming home. So you're just literally playing that. Now if you're struggling with that muted and you just want to play the song, just don't worry about that. Just strum 1, 2, 3, 4. But maybe aim for playing it lighter. And then when we get into the song, we can play it bigger so that it has the similar effect. But there's some choices there if you want to make it dynamically a bit more interesting. Anyway, to start off with, so you've got that intro, and then it comes in, it's coming home, it's coming home, it's coming, football's coming home, it's coming home, it's coming home, it's coming, football's coming home. So you notice what I did there the first time, it's coming home, I made it a little bit open, and then the second time I muted it a little bit so you can hear the two effects. And then we're going into the next sequence of chords. So it's very basic. You can play that in the choruses, but it's really what you want in the chorus section of the song is this section here where it's in the intro he's singing the same thing as the verse, it's coming home. So you've got G, B minor, E minor, A, the D, F sharp minor, B minor. It's that sequence we looked at the very beginning of the video. It's this sequence now being played through at its fullest. So you've got G for 2 beats, B minor for 2 beats, then E minor for 2 beats, then A for 2 beats, then D for 2 beats, F sharp minor for 2 beats, B minor for 2 beats, then 2 beats on A. So whatever versions of the chords you use, I'll probably mix it up a little bit as I play along, but you stick to whatever version you feel most comfortable with those chords, as long as they're the right chords. So G, 2 beats, B minor, 2 strums on each. Now you can mute them. You can get that effect for the chorus if you want that effect, or just bash it out 2 strums on each. It really doesn't make a difference when you get to the chorus. It's got to be big anyway. So it's coming home, it's coming home, it's coming, football's coming home. You hear that sequence. Okay, so that's the sequence with the chords played in their open, those open shapes that we've learned. And obviously, if you wanted to put a little bit of extra pizzazz in the rhythm, it's swung slightly. You can put an upstroke in there. So it goes G, so it'd be down, down, up, then B minor, down, down, up, then E minor, down, down, up, A. For the A, I do this. I go down, down, up, down, up, down, up. So it goes G, down, down, up, B minor, down, down, up, E minor, down, down, up, down, down. So this one in the A, down, up on the A. So I'll go through that again. Down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up. Or G, B minor, E minor, A. And then you can repeat that again with D. So you've got the D, F sharp minor, B minor, and that works really well. It's coming home, it's coming home, it's coming, football's coming home. And that's a nice sequence that you can play for that part of the song. So yeah, G, B minor, E minor, A, D, F sharp minor, B minor, A. Practice those shapes, practice that sequence. It's a really cool sequence. Let's go on to the verse then. So the verse, I'll highlight it on here as well. So let's whip that up. So the verse section is this here. Okay, so this is a different sequence. Now we come to the part that I said before, it's got a B in it. So it starts off, this is pretty straightforward rhythmically. You're just going to do 4 strums. You can just play straight 4 strums if you want, that's absolutely fine. Or you can use that muting technique. Switch between that muted technique, the palming, and the normal strumming for the effectiveness. Playing louder and softer as well to get a bit more effectiveness is always helps. So here we've got E minor, A. Notice on the A, I'm using my finger to come to get that muted effect. So for E minor, I can use just the fingers. For the A, I switch in. This is just natural for me to do it on certain chords, to bring in my little finger. I've done this in some of my videos, these techniques, if you're not sure. Or ignore it and just literally just play the 4 strums. I can't out myself playing it that way. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the D chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the B chord. So we looked at the B. This is the one where you bar across, and there's a second and third finger. But you could also play it as like an E minor moved up 1. So I'll go through that slowly. It's E minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. A D. 2, 3, 4. A B. 2, 3, 4. I'm putting the whole thing in there. If I do it with just the 3 fingers, so you can see what that sounds like. E minor. So it's all the same as an E minor. That B major. So E minor. Straight strums. 2, 3, 4. D. 2, 3. Just the E minor shape. So it works really well. It sounds just as good, you know. There's no big deal. So if you, no reason to get freaked out about using that bar and getting all the things. If you're struggling, just make it the same as an E minor. And if you've got good at the E minor, then you know you can play a B. So that's that sequence, and it plays through twice. So let's see if I can get that in. Everyone seems to know the score. They've seen it all before. They just know. They're so sure. England's gonna throw it away, they'll blow it away, 'cause I know they can play, 'cause I remember. You can see dynamically I just can't out myself. I know the song quite well now, so I'm putting in those kind of accents that you hear, where it's kind of got in that second part where it goes, England's gonna throw it away, there's like a little swingy rhythm, down, up, down, up. So think of the throw it away, down, up, then the blow it away, down, up, and then the D, down, up, and then downs for the I remember. Really accent it and building it up. That's what I'm doing rhythmically. You don't have to do any of that, just do it all. So here we are for the chorus, and the chords for the chorus, let me highlight, are exactly the same as what we did in that intro. Pretty much when you got the verse and the chorus, you're home and dry. The little bridge bit isn't really anything to worry about. So here we've got 3 lines on a shirt, still room, still gleaming, 30 years of hurt, never stop me dreaming. That is the chorus part. And it is exactly the same sequence as I said before. We've got G minor, 2 strums on each, G. But in that first part, in the intro, obviously it's coming home, we're going to dampen it to get the effect, if you can, or play it quieter. Now we want to make it big and make it really sort of stand out. So 3 lines on a shirt, George from you still gleaming, 30 years of her, never stop me dreaming. So you know, making it bigger and stand out a bit more. So 2 strums, just make it larger. 2 strums, no muting here. I'm putting upstrokes in between, and then the B minor, E minor, A, D, F sharp minor, then a B minor, then A. Now go back through that sequence, G, B minor, E minor, then A, D, F sharp minor, B minor, then A. So 2 strums on each, just make it bigger, and you're there for the chorus. I'll do it a little bit slower. 3 lines on a shirt, then the A, D, George Remy still gleaming, 30 years of her, never stop me dreaming. And like I said before earlier on in the video, you know, the B minor can be just a D. So instead of, if you're struggling getting to the B minor, just do it as a D shape, but keep it on these 2 rather than doing it up here. You really want it there, because it's that note that we really need that's in the song. We really want to hear, that note on the 2nd fret there. So we want to go 3 lines on, see what I'm doing there with that chord, D chord, normal D chord, George Remy still gleaming. See, so I've dropped that D shape, gleaming. I mean, if you can get the full B minor, get that in, because it means you can hit all the notes and feel a bit more comfortable with it. If you struggle, just drop your D chord. It's It's just another version. It's actually a G major 7, that chord. That's what it should be. But on the ukulele, that's the most effective way of playing it, as a B minor shape, if you like. So anyway, that's the chorus. G, B minor, E minor, A, D, F sharp minor, B minor, A, played twice through. And then we go back into the next verse. So the next verse, here we go. So E minor, I'll play it through. So many jokes, so many sneers, but all those so many nears wear you down through the years. But I still see that tackle by Moore, and when Lineker score, Bobby belting the ball and Nobby dancing. Nobby Stiles. Okay, so you've got the verse here, E minor A, D, B minor, E minor A is exactly as we did before, D, etc, etc. It's exactly the same as the verse, so copy that, just different words. And then the chorus again is exactly the same as the chorus. G, B minor, E minor, A, same things before. Like I said, really dynamically, all you need to do is make it swing a little, down, down, up, down, down, up. If you can get the upstroke in there, great. Otherwise, just keep it all straight strums. You don't have to even put any upstrokes. You can just do all the things, all the strums as down strums all the way through. And the other thing in there that's in the song, which, to be honest with you, I was doing it at a ukulele group, I wouldn't even do this little bit here. Because in the background of the song, the original song, you've got like these chants and talking about people scoring and what have you, so it's kind of like a memory recall. Well, you can't really do that when we're in the ukulele group, so I'd probably just take the break out and go to the next bit. But so you know what it is, if you want to play along, it's E minor, then a C, which is dead easy. Obviously it's just the first finger on that 3rd fret, or whatever thing you want to use, really. Just get to a C. I would use the first finger because it's closest. And then the F sharp minor, we're going all the way back here. Then a B. So quite a tricky little sequence, I think. So E minor. We could use the 2nd finger. F sharp minor. Doesn't really matter, you've got to move all your fingers anyway. Then the B. 3rd finger. F sharp minor. B. So whatever thing you use for C doesn't really matter. You've got to move all your fingers into that shape. So whatever you're comfortable with. So E minor, C, F sharp minor, B. That's what the sequence is. And then it goes, I know that was then, but it could be again. And then into the B. That's a little sort of a breakdown part, I would call that. So I know it was then, but it could be again. And then it just pauses there. It's coming home. It's coming home. It's coming, football's coming home. Now I noticed on a lot of the versions they put the 3 in. It's coming home. It's coming home. It's coming home. It's coming. But actually on the record, because I've checked it, it goes. It comes straight in on the G. It's coming home. It's coming, football's coming home. So although they go, it's coming home. It's coming home. It's coming on all the others. After this, I know it was then, but it could be again. It comes straight into it's coming home, it's coming for. That's how it goes on the record. So it doesn't really matter when you're playing it in a group. You can decide on what works for you. But I would probably eliminate the break, just because it's quite a hard sequence. So if you're playing through the song and you're on your own, or we're doing it in a group, I would say let's not worry about the break. Literally go, never stop me dreaming. I know that was then, but it could be again. And we'll all hang out. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's coming home. It's coming. Football's coming home. Just nice light down strums. And then that is being sung for the rest of the song. He does it, or they do it twice for that G and D, and then it goes into our chorus sequence. So it should go, it's coming home, it's coming home, it's coming, football's coming home, it's coming, and then back all the way through the rest of the song. That just goes over and over, to be honest with you. How I would end it, I guess, because it's kind of fades on the record, I would say you want to probably end with just a big strum on that end and sing football's coming home. End it with football's coming home, something like it's coming home, it's coming, football's coming home. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one because because of the key you're in, which it would be D, I'd say. I'd finish on the D. I wouldn't finish on any other chord. So it's coming home, it's coming home, it's coming, football's coming home. And maybe just stop the chord. Football's coming home, and just stop it there. Everyone's singing it and chanting it together. England, whatever you want to do for that, because it's a bit of an odd one because it fades on the record. So you kind of got to come up with a way of ending it. Otherwise, you're just singing that for the next till you run out of breath, really, for the next 20 odd years. Okay, so there you go. So we've gone through all the chords, we've gone through the rhythm, the strumming, and you got a pretty good idea of some things you can do as well to make it sound a bit more interesting with those dynamics. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video and that's been quite useful. And yeah, come on England.